Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday morning service at the Unitarian Universalists of Clearwater. No, shoot. Let me do that again. That just comes. Welcome to Sunday morning service at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. Lord. After when I was at Clearwater for 17 years doing that little speech, and I guess because of my age, I don't adjust well. Who knows? Okay. I am Sue Boone, Worship Associate for this morning. I want to welcome all of you on Zoom, those at our sibling church at Valdosta, and those who are watching from a home or afar. We're hoping some of you who have been afar will start coming back. Please? Thank you for choosing to worship with us today. And to those of you in the sanctuary, I'm glad we are together in community. I am a cisgendered, tall woman for my age of European descent. I'm 79 years old. My short hair is turning white, and I like to think of it as a halo around my head. My pronouns are she and her. This morning I am wearing a filmy, jacket, unstructured jacket today with black pants, black shoes, of course. We are privileged to be on the lovely property which was once the home of the Timucua and Seminole tribes. In the pulpit this morning is the Reverend Carol York. She came out of undergrad college to teach high school English in New Jersey. A big employment change occurred when she went to work for IBM, repairing Selectric typewriters. Do you remember those? Are they the ones with the ball? The little ball? Okay, yeah. We all use those. Okay. Eventually, she was called to ministry and entered Andover Newton Theological School in Massachusetts. She came to Florida in 1998 and served several churches here. We were just talking, she was at Spirit of Life Church in, north of Tampa, and that church was a breakaway church from my church in Clearwater. The religious education department got mad, so one Sunday they just didn't show up, and they started a new church. Even UU churches can't get along with themselves. Upon retirement, she began doing preaching gigs in various churches. She lives in Dunellen and is the proud mother of 2 Pomeranians. Let us now be in an attitude of reverence. Pete Murray, will you please come forward and light the chalice? Thank you. Our chalice lighting words are adapted from a writing by Elizabeth Stevens. May the lighting of this flame renew in us our endless search for all that is right and true. May this flame renew our abiding love of life and all who share this life. May this flame renew our unending dedication to follow paths of peace and justice. Our opening words were written by Bruce Marshall. Our lives are made of small moments. Sharing a meal with friends or family, wondering about a question that puzzles us, but thank goodness we have Google to figure that out. Giving help to another, listening to a person and being listened to. Talking with another about something that makes us sad. An embrace, a smile, a touch. Offering a thought that might help just a little to make more sense of it all. Our gathering here is just such a small moment. It is a small thing we do in gathering, yet it is significant. May we affirm and celebrate the moments that we share here, today, and tomorrow. Come, let us worship together in love. As you are willing and able, please rise and join together in the singing of hymn number 1008 in the teal hymnal and on the screen. When my heart is in a holy place, number 1008. Opportunity to share publicly our joys and sorrows. To do this, we write what is on our hearts in the book as you come into the sanctuary. For the joys shared, we join in celebration. For the sorrows and concerns spoken here, please feel our sympathy and compassion. Our first joy, the visitors that we have with us today. If you want, you can wave. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Jen and Len are here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jennifer. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Couldn't read the writing. It's okay. Jennifer and Andy, Peg and Brigitte, welcome. We're glad that you're here with us today. Okay, those who have shared in the book. David Wilcom writes, for the past 3 weeks, I've participated in church safety training at UUFG, provided by the UUA. Both the videos and group discussions sandwiched in between the films make me feel I'm better able to perform my safety team duties. Pete Murray writes, Phil Denton was admitted to Shands Hospital with pneumonia. He is in room 7508 North Tower and in isolation. He can have visitors in isolation? Okay. Aaron Parrish writes, I am saddened by the hate and hypocrisy shown this past week by our public officials. Sandra Top writes, I started to look into memory care for my mother. It is heartbreaking, but for the best, for her and her father. Tom Morisi writes, UUFG member Fred Judkins has been awarded a Quilt of Valor from the Quilts of Valor Foundation. The foundation awards a quilt to a service member or veteran who has been touched by war. The quilt says unequivocally, thank you for your service and sacrifice in serving our nation. Deborah Neal Marisi writes, happy birthday to my dear husband. Is he here? There he is, in the back. How old are you today? Yay. Everybody give him a hug. Ali Miller writes, I had so much fun playing pickleball for the first time this past Tuesday with other UUFG folks. It offered fun, exercise, community, connection, laughter. It helped uplift my mood, and I felt pure joy in many moments. Can't wait to play again. So when do y'all meet? Tuesday? Where at? Is that by your house? By Elizabeth. Ask her where it is. Okay. Juniper and Atlas write, she loves taking care of her little sister and brothers. Her newest brother arrived yesterday. Go ahead. Atlas adds that his little brother is so cute. For all that remains unspoken, both joys and sorrows, may the caring of our community offer you both kindness and hope. Please come forward to drop a stone in the water for your joys and sorrows. When all stones have been dropped, Jordan? Norden, I know. We went to the same college. I know. Norden of the Caring Committee will drop 2 stones for the joys and sorrows of those with us online. Please come forward.
Good morning. My name is James Chase, and I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Gainesville. That's fine. I am a big fan of music. Today we did things a little bit different. We did our stuff all out of order, and I don't know if everyone knew that was going to happen first or not, but either way, I'm really glad that our children are starting to be brought into the rituals that we perform every Sunday. And I think it's kind of a wonderful shift. It might take a little, but I'm grateful. I'm going to finish my introduction because I got scrambled and put out of order, just like our service. My name is James Chase, and I do children's programming, I do adult programming, and I do just kind of a little bit of everything. I'm going to hold this up because I think it might help. We'll see. And I'm going to invite all of our kids forward while I do the rest of my introduction, which I got distracted from again, which is twice in one moment for all ages. We're doing well. I am a white, medium-sized person with short hair and glasses, and today I am wearing one of my Halloween shirts because we are in the season. Halloween approacheth, and we're all really happy about that. And when I say we all, I mean me. In my house, we're all happy about Halloween on some level. All right, thank you guys for actually coming forward and gathering, even with my scrambled egg introduction. Hi. I am going to be telling a story today that we tell pretty often in our one-room schoolhouse called Snack and Storytime. We do it at least once a year because this is a story that exemplifies ideas of hospitality and generosity, which are two of our main values that we talk about in children's religious education and adults' religious education. Plurality. Who knows what plurality means? Oh, goodness. Who in this room, children or adults, knows what plurality means? Okay. Michael, what does it mean? I called on both of you, and you both got it just right. That we all have different beliefs and different ways of doing it, right? Yeah. And what about generosity? Do any of our kids maybe know what generosity means? There we go. Remy, what's up? Doing things positive towards others that you didn't have to do. I like that way of putting it. And this story that we're going to tell today is going to require a little bit of setup, but I promise it won't take a super long time because we know it so well. First setup, everybody who wants to come sit forward, children and youth and adults, can you take one piece of food, please? We can take this and pass it around. So everybody gets one. Riker, do you want one? Okay. 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 Does everyone who wants a piece of food have one?
Wait a minute. There's a big one.
Okay. We've got our food. So, you guys are part of my story. Are you ready?
Wait, she has two.
That's okay. Some people have two and some people have one. That's okay. We're going to not hand out any more of these right now. If you want to be part of my story,
Yes.
take a seat and put on your listening ears, okay? Are we ready? All right. Are we ready? If you can hear me, put your fingers in the air. Uh-oh. Mary and Rowan, if you can hear me, put your fingers on your nose. On your nose. Mary and Rowan, if you can hear me, can you pat your head gently? Okay. If we want to be part of this story, we're going to have to listen. We're doing things a little bit weird today, but we still got to have our listening ears on. Are we ready? Show me you're ready by patting your nose. Perfect. Nice work. Okay. So, this is the story of Stone Soup. Oh, once upon a time, there was a village full of children. There was a village full of children who lived in houses that were made of cookies. They were made of sandwiches. And these houses were made of gingerbread. Perfect. Cinder bricks. Okay, so cinder blocks also. Okay. And in this house, oh, I need your attention. Can you look at me? Riker. Riker. Oh, goodness. Riker, I need your attention. Can you listen to this story with your food? Can we do that? Yeah? Okay. Thank you, Katie. Can you help Riker to stay focused? Perfect. All right. So in this village, thank you for your patience, everyone. This is an involved one. In this village, there are people, and all of these children who live in this village, they have food. Put your food in the air if you've got food. Our grown-ups, if you've got food at home, put your hand in the air. There we go. These kids had food. And that was really, really lucky that everyone in this village had enough food for them to eat. That is good luck. But then one day, coming up the road, walking up the road to this village came two friends. And these friends, do you know what they had with them? They had a big empty pot strapped on their back. Oh, and it was so heavy. And they had a big empty spoon. And that was it. Did they have food? No, they didn't have food. Yeah. And so they came into this village and they went from door to door. And they went door to door and they said, please, can we have some of your food? But guess what the villagers said? These kids said, we only have food for us. That's what they said. They said, no, this is my food. You can't have any. And they went knock, knock, knock. So we're going to knock on Rowan's door. Knock, knock, knock. Can we have some food? You've only got one orange? Well, I wouldn't want to share. Yeah. Only one piece. What about you, Riker? Knock, knock, knock. Can I have your food? Oh, you are so generous. Can you tell me no now and yes later, okay? Okay. Mary, can I have your food? Knock, knock, knock. Can I have your... Oh, these kids are... That's not how the story goes. But... And then, when everybody said, no, can everybody say, no, you can't have my food? No, you can't have my food. The two friends went into the square and they said, oh, we are so hungry, but we have no food to eat. And the villagers were not able to share. They didn't have enough to share. They said, no. What should we do? And they thought, and they thought, and they thought, and they said, aha, let's make stone soup. So stone soup, what is stone soup? Well, the village into the square, and they lit a fire, which is probably not something good to do in village squares usually, but this was a safe place to do it. And they put their pot on top of this fire, and they filled it up with water about halfway, and they started to cook. And they went, oh, not yet, not yet. And they went, and they started stirring it and saying, oh, this looks so good. Not yet. Everybody sit down. Not yet. They said, it looks so good. It looks so tasty. And the villagers, all these kids, started popping their heads out of their houses and said, wait, what looks tasty? What looks good? And they said, well, it's stone soup. You don't know about stone soup? And the villagers said, no, I've never had stone soup. What is that? And they said, well, the secret ingredient, it goes right in there. And then it makes the tastiest food ever. And they said, this stone soup is looking good. Keep in mind, it was just boiling water with a rock in it. Does that look good? Maybe not. But they're saying, oh, it looks so good, But you know what? This would be even better if it had some corn. Does anyone have a villager popped out with their corn and said, "I'll add some corn. Can I share the stone soup when it's done?" And they said, "Yes, there will be stone soup for everybody." And oh, then it started to smell sweet. And they said, "You know, this could really use some French fries. Does anyone have French fries we could add to our stone soup?" Oh, Riker has French fries. Go ahead and add it to the stone soup. Oh. Oh, there it is. And it started to smell a little salty and, potatoey. Oh, and they said, "You know what else would be really good in here is if we had a donut." Does anyone have a donut to add to our stone soup? Oh, and then we had a donut. Thank you, Shea. Does anyone have, this might need a banana. Does anyone have a banana? Oh, a banana and an orange. That is extra lucky. Go ahead, put it in. Delicious. Okay. Oh, this soup is looking really, really good, but it could maybe use, does anyone have any meat to put into this soup? Because we need banana, corn. Oh, and then we got a chicken wing. Thank goodness for that. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything they want to add into our delicious banana, orange, corn, French fry, chicken wing donut soup? We need another orange. Come on. Okay. Are we ready? Uh-huh. Pop it in there. Go ahead and add it. And then the smell filled the courtyard as the soup bubbled and bubbled and bubbled. Added some strawberries. That's good luck. And then everybody, guys, there was so much soup. Did it smell so good? Everybody give a sniff. Does it smell good? Everyone sniff the air. Does this soup smell good? Yes, it smells so good. Who wants a scoop of this stone soup? Put your hands out like a bowl. And is there enough for everybody? 1 scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoops. Is there more? Oh, there's more. There's some for Shea and there's some for Rowan. Was there enough stone soup to go around? Yes. Was there enough, Riker? Can everybody have some of this soup? You want to put some more in there? Oh, and when Leo, oh no, okay. There was enough soup to go around. Everybody take a seat. Everybody sit down. Take a seat. We're going to stop now. Okay. We're done with this story. What happened at the end?
They all get food for the day and a happy ending.
Did everybody in the whole village get to eat?
Yes.
But there wasn't, you didn't eat it because there was a rock in it? Yeah, that seems fair. That's a fair choice to make. But did everybody who wanted to eat this delicious soup get to eat some? Yes. Why did everybody get to eat? Because they were hungry. There was enough water and food from everybody to share with everyone, huh? Yeah. So when we talk about hospitality, that is a word that really is all about sharing what you have, even when you're not sure if you have enough, and trusting that there will be enough. Shea, what is it? What's... Yes, we'll get it later, okay? And that was our story. That's told in a way that is not been told ever before. It's never been told exactly like that one. And this story has been told a lot just here. So thank you for that journey. And now we're going to bring our kids outside where we explore this game, the story a little bit more.
that's fine.
Well, that was an interesting act to follow, wasn't it? I know that you heard a little bio before, but let me add to it. First of all, good morning. I am delighted to be here with you today. I was here once about 12 years ago, I think. I can't quite bring it back yet, but I might. So I'm Carol York, the Reverend Carol York. I've been retired for a while and doing some preaching gigs in Florida. It was much better before COVID, though. I am, you could probably guess how old I am. I won't go into that right now, except to say that September is a good birthday month. I am wearing a variety of colors today, a multicolored jacket, a pink t-shirt which says, "All my children have paws." I am 5'2" tall. I used to be 5'4". Wearing red framed glasses. Trying to get used to this step below me here. That's why I keep moving around. So. And a word of welcome to everyone who is watching this service from home. We welcome you here as well. I'm sure today we've come with a whole variety of emotions. Fear, anger, outrage at what's happening out there. A lot of things that make us stressed. We've heard the words hope and optimism as words of strengthening us. There's another word too, and it's joy, because fascism hates joy. So here we are, hopefully sharing some joy together. What I would like to read, though, to you is a little bit about the difference between hope and optimism. And this was written by my colleague, the Reverend Bruce Marshall. Here are his words. A friend whose wife is undergoing treatment for a serious illness told me that their physician advised them to approach this medical crisis with hope, not optimism. And this makes sense to me. Optimism, as I understand it, is an attitude of expectation that a particular favorable result will occur, that a person will recover from an illness, that we will achieve a specific goal, that the Publishers Clearinghouse, do they still do this? Will pick my number from among the billions submitted. The dictionary defines optimism as an inclination to anticipate the best possible outcome. but optimism often leads to disappointment. When the best possible outcome does not occur, we are let down and may feel betrayed. Hope, on the other hand, is more resilient, more enduring, more helpful. Hope is less specific. Hope is an attitude that looks for possibility in whatever life deals us. Hope does not anticipate a particular outcome, but keeps before us the possibility that something useful will come from this. Hope advises us to look squarely at the realities that confront us, while remaining aware of the possibilities. Hope, in the face of human difficulty, is not the assurance that everything will return to you just as you want it. Hope is rather a verb of brave human being. Hope is a choice of the heart. Hope is you believing that despite life's diminishments, there is meaningful life yet to be lived, purpose and joy yet to be discovered, relationships and connections yet to be built, and songs yet to be sung. And here ends this reading.
Our Share the Plate agency this month is the Greater Gainesville International Center. Terrence Ho is here to speak about it. Aaron?
It's working, cool. Hi, I'm Terrence Ho. I work with the Greater Gainesville International Center with Lauren Poe, who was our former mayor. I was told to explain a little bit what we do, but I think this congregation generally knows what Greater Gainesville International Center does, because I can count among all of y'all some of the most supportive members of our community, both in terms of donations as well as time. Just in the back, there's a person there who's helped a ton with one family, someone who's purchased some artwork on behalf of our sister city in Palestine. So the Greater Gainesville International Center, I was told to speak slightly slower, but I'm not very good at that. The Greater Gainesville International Center is an organization that grew out of the Sister Cities organization that connected Gainesville with cities around the world, including Novorossiysk in Russia, which was the first sister city between a Soviet city and an American city, which was then followed by over 300 pairings of Soviet cities and US cities. Yes, Gainesville was the first one. And also the first tri-sister city relationship between Gainesville, Qalqilia in Palestine, and Kfar Saba in Israel, which is the first and currently only three-way sister city relationship between Palestine, United States, and Israel. It has since grown into an organization that is quite focused on, which is appropriate to this week's theme, hospitality. And what I mean by hospitality, I mean welcoming in immigrants and refugees and people like that. Over the last year, we helped to resettle 7 refugee families here in Gainesville, Florida, before January 24th, when the US refugee admissions program was suspended. However, one family has since arrived since then with dubious status at the moment, but we are helping them as much as we can. All of this takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, but at the same time, which I did in an interview last week, it's really nothing. The amount of money it takes to resettle a family What we were given was $3,000 per person. $3,000 can resettle an entire human being here in the United States. That's not a lot. Currently, we have an exhibit of my art, of resettlement, up at the Slate Gallery downtown. Previously, it was at the Gainesville Fine Arts Association, and it's currently still at the Matheson. I saw some of you at the Matheson, actually, and at the GFAA. All that artwork is on sale, not for you to purchase for yourself, but so that the refugee family in question can own that art. So that painting, that drawing of mine would be $60. That artwork would go to that family, as well as the money, the proceeds, would also go to help that family. This is one way you can support. You can also support online, as well as on the UF Campaign for Charities, which are actually on this year. If you know anybody who was at UF, who wants to use their salary deduction as this, we're one of those organizations at last that is actually eligible for it. So I think that's my time. Thank you.
Terrence has been sitting down here drawing us. Oh, he drew the speaker. Look at that. Nice. Okay. Our invitation to generosity was written by Kristen Collins. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. We will now take the offering for the Greater Gainesville International Center and for the church. Any unmarked donations today will go to the center, or if you put your, that's where you want to designate it. You can also give online. I don't know how to do that, but if you do something with that little square, you get to our website, our donation website, and you can give money to. Somebody's signaling me back there. I don't know. Oh, you can also make out a check. A check? Okay. Or you can go anytime during the week to the uufg.org and go to the gifts section, and you can donate this month to the Greater Gainesville International Center. So, with all that, will the ushers please come forward?
Now you just get my head. Thinking about coming here today, all I kept thinking about was, what in the world kind of message can I bring in the midst of this world gone completely and utterly off the rails, out of whack, all of which has affected every one of us in some way. I came upon a poster that actually survived the move that I just made in March, but it was too wrinkled to bring to show you, so I had to copy it. It's from a letter from Violet Trefusis to Vita Sackville West, her lover, September and October 1918. They've taken and burnt your caravan. They've thrown away your pots and pans and your half-mended wicker chairs. They've pulled down your sleeves and buttoned up your collar. They've forced you to sleep beneath a self-respecting roof with no chinks to let the stars through. But they haven't caught me yet. Come away. Heaven preserve me from littleness and pleasantness and smoothness. Give me great glaring vices and great glaring virtues, but preserve me from the neat little neutral ambiguities. Be wicked, be brave, be drunk, be reckless, be dissolute, be despotic, be an anarchist, be a suffragette, be anything you like, but for pity's sake, be it to the top of your bent. Live fully. Live passionately. Live disastrously. Let's live, you and I, as none have ever lived before. Violet and Vita shared a passionate, decade-long love affair that began in their youth and caused quite a scandal in British high society. Would you harbor me? Would you welcome me into your community here in this congregation if I'm a lesbian or a person with a mental illness or homeless or transgender? If I come in with 4 children all under the age of 8? If I'm a political conservative, totally unhappy with the direction of this man who sits in the White House, whose name will not cross my lips. If I am 29 years old searching for a religious home, I'll bet that person get to the front of the line. Why hospitality? Why radical hospitality? Hospitality is more than coffee making. It's the opening of our hearts, the sharing of the soul of the community. Radical. The Latin word radix means root. Hospitality comes from a deeper place, a spiritual center. Hospitality with a moral and ethical dimension. an openness to the unknown, a hospitality to the stranger that could be the beginning of a transformation of all of us. Isn't that scary? When I was in high school, going back a few years now, I had met one of the nuns from the Catholic Church down the block from my American Baptist Church in New Jersey. In those days, the American Baptists were fairly liberal, very liberal, in fact. Somehow, I managed to have several conversations with her, with Sister James. And this was in a time when they all wore the habits, the old habits, like Sister Act and Whoopi Goldberg. And I invited her to our house, my family's house, for a picnic. Now, my grandparents lived next door to us, and my grandmother, bless her heart, a good Methodist that she was, used to say when she thought we weren't listening that you gotta watch out for those Catholics. Now, what she meant by that, I never quite figured out, but they were definitely the stranger. And here I had invited not just a Catholic person, but a nun, for God's sakes, to our family picnic. As I think back, I believe there were probably 3 reasons for that. Number 1, I probably had a crush on Sister James. Number 2, she was the unknown. Number 2, I did want to be her friend and have her be my friend, and invite her to the family picnic. And 3, I was always pushing the envelope anyway. So Sister James came to our house. My mother sat and watched, at the ready to jump in if there was any indication that my grandmother might say something untoward. She didn't. She had a good time. When Sister James was leaving, she planted a kiss on Grandma's cheek. And my mother and I talked about that for weeks. To me, it was an example of offering hospitality, really radical on my grandmother's part, to a person who represented the unknown, a nun who is terribly unknown to my grandmother. The world's various religious traditions have long relied upon the link between religion and hospitality. Hebrew, Christian, and I certainly don't mean white Christian nationalism, but traditional Christianity, and Muslim scriptures caution people to welcome the stranger as you would a guest. And it is not enough to simply be proclaimed like you are all welcome here. It must be lived. The stories throughout these scriptures are of God's messengers and angels disguising themselves to test the hospitality of humans. Do you remember the story in Genesis of Jacob wrestling with the angel? You know, it's in that book in the dusty corner in your house. It's called the Bible. And the first book the first book in that book is Genesis. And it's full of stories. But there are similar stories in Greek mythology, with the gods Jupiter and Mercury disguising themselves as mortals, roaming the earth looking for rest. 1,000 doors are shut in their faces, but at last they are welcomed by a poor old man and an old woman. The old couple set a table for their guests, offering the best they had, some cabbage from their garden and some of their precious bacon. But then something mysterious happens. The bowl keeps filling itself, refilling itself. The old couple become frightened because they were worried that their food isn't good enough for their guests, and they were considering killing their beloved goose. But before they can kill it, the goose runs to the guests. I've tried to figure this out. I can't come up with the reason that this happens this way. And the guests reveal themselves as the gods they are, Jupiter and Mercury. The gods disguise themselves. Why? Because the sacred comes to us in subtle ways. And the stranger may well be the means by which we are saved. Uh-oh, did she say saved? Yes, I did. And let me tell you what my definition of salvation is. And of course, most of this is for another sermon, but that'll have to wait. What we Unitarian Universalists can do is help each of us be saved from the hell of isolation. That to me is what salvation is. Like I said, another sermon, maybe down the road. The stranger is the one who is most likely to shake us up, to make us look at ourselves and at the world in a different way. And another thing, what we fear in ourselves, those very qualities are often the very thing, what we fear in others, those very qualities are what we fear in ourselves. Do you remember the Reverend Ted Haggard? He's evidently still around somewhere in Texas or Mississippi or somewhere down there, over there. I'm certain that he's gay because he protested way too much. And he was so terribly afraid of what he called his dark insides. And he has evidently repented, whatever that means. And so, to welcome the stranger from without, we also welcome the stranger from within. We grow toward wholeness in this way. And you've heard this before. This is from Matthew, same Bible, different testament. Matthew 25 are the words that were put in God's mouth by later writers, but that too is another sermon. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in? When were you naked and we clothed you? When did we see you sick or in prison and did we come to you? And the answer was, truly, I say unto you, inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, you have done it unto me. The teachings of Jesus extend the tradition of the Hebrew Scriptures. Jesus and his followers went beyond welcoming the foreigner to the more radical practice of welcoming the marginalized, children, women, tax collectors, the poor, lepers, prostitutes, even enemies. In Jesus' vision of the kingdom of God, there are no foreigners. There are no unlawful ICE roundups. There are no indiscriminate firings. There are no horrendous attempts to destroy the earth and all civilization. But I will stop there. In Jesus, at least about that. In Jesus' vision, we are all God's children. We forget when we say we are not Christian and I don't want to hear about it. We forget that Jesus taught that in his vision we are all God's children and we are all loved. We are all God's children and we are all loved. That's got to be a message that we extend to those people coming in our doors. We are all loved and you are welcomed here. Will you harbor me? Hospitality is not an obligation. It's not a duty. True hospitality is a spiritual practice, a religious practice, like meditation or prayer. Hospitality connects us with a deep truth and compassion that transcend ourselves. Our sense of isolation and individualism is an illusion that cuts us off from what is real and true and loving and sacred in life. There are 1,000 ways to practice hospitality. Think of a time when you have truly felt welcomed. Maybe it was coming home after a long time away. Maybe someone took you in when you were far from home. Relive those feelings for a moment. Feel that warmth again. See those smiles and feel those arms embracing you. What a gift it is to be welcomed. It is emotionally powerful. It touches something very deep in us, our profound human longing to feel accepted, to belong, to be loved, to feel safe, to be valued and respected. I felt this way every time when I crossed the threshold of my home church, where I became a Unitarian Universalist and the church that ordained me into the UU ministry in Plainfield, New Jersey. My heart sang. We can begin our practice of hospitality by being open and loving with those we already know, with each other, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and extending ourselves to others. But we cannot and must not stop there. If we stop there, we draw that circle that keeps others out, a circle that disconnects us. We must go much further. We must also take the spiritual practice of hospitality beyond the safety of our own religious communities. Our practice must extend to opening our hearts to strangers throughout our lives. The real challenge for us, the heavy spiritual lifting, if you will, comes when we encounter people who appear to be different from ourselves. We need to practice openness to people and listen to them. Those people who make us uncomfortable. People with different ethnic backgrounds. People a lot older or younger. In most UU churches these days, it's younger. Be open to people younger than ourselves. But what is it like to share your life experiences here with someone of a different generation? Can you do that? Can you find someone of a different generation and share your life experiences? I bet you can. Sharing with people who are LGBTQ. Have you ever reached out a hand to a young trans person? Do you know that that simple gesture might literally save a life? Welcoming what is uncomfortable will make us grow. I have identified myself as lesbian for about 55 years. For a very long time, I had nowhere to go, nowhere to explore my identity, my spiritual identity, my humanness. The Baptists, those American Baptists who were liberal in the 70s, were not arguing about homosexuality yet because they didn't know about it or they denied it existed. You know the story. They certainly didn't want to talk about it. So my religious community at the time was simply alienating, and I found community in the women's movement of the 70s and into the 80s. Until, and it took me about 15 years between churches, until I walked into a UU church, discovering a religion that welcomed even me through the first principle that we covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And while I'm a supporter of our new values, I will never let go of that first principle, ever. Tears came when I realized that they really meant it. They weren't perfect. They were not perfect at it, but they meant it and they worked at it. I felt welcomed, accepted. I was a stranger, and they took me in. Being open to the stranger, giving and receiving from the heart. Oh, this can be a dangerous endeavor. Let that be said. We must be vulnerable. We could be hurt. But another question must be asked. How dangerous will I become if I close down my heart? Stretching hurts, but stretch we must. This tender heart place is the only place that the sacred has to enter. When we make true connection, we touch what is holy. Hospitality is the start of the journey. It's the enactment of our Unitarian Universalist faith. The hunger for true religious community, for connection and commitment, is pervasive in our time. Our future depends on whether we can connect with people at their deepest longings and highest aspirations. We are called to feed the spiritually hungry, even if it's ourselves, and to offer a home to the religiously homeless. And in the process, we are enriched in spirit. Visiting a church can be an unhappy experience. Some visitors feel that they have stumbled upon a family reunion and perceive themselves as intruders. What is it like to be a visitor here in your congregation? I'm going to leave that question up to you to answer. We are told too often that the world is a fearful place, but it is often a mistake to believe that our greatest need is safety. Our greatest need is connection, to touch one another in those places of authenticity, to know that we are one. Yes, even the stranger. To know that we will harbor and be harbored. If we are open, maybe the stranger may take us someplace we dearly need to go. And though we may not notice at first, we might find that that stranger has angel wings. May you and I be there with anticipation in our hearts, warm smiles on our faces, our eyes ready to meet the eyes of another, and our arms extended, saying, welcome, welcome. Welcome into this place where you might lay your burdens down. And pay attention to that phrase because it's in our closing hymn, which we will address momentarily. It is called Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Think about that. Think about joy and sing your hearts out. And by the way, in this hymn, there will be a chance for you to dance in the aisle if you so wish. Thank you. do them
right now.
extinguished.
Okay.
Our closing words. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard. The path is never clear. And the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Go in peace, blessed people.
Tom, would you extinguish the chalice, please? Pete. As Pete extinguishes the chalice, let us repeat together our chalice extinguishing words. We exist flame, but not the light of truth, earth's beauty, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. The service is over. Please join us for coffee and conversation in the social hall. Thank you.